Well, chieftains of the All Progressives Congress, APC, in Akwa Ibom State have written to the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, alleging applause by the Senate's President Godswill Akpabio, the Minister of Petroleum, Gas, Right Honorable Ekperikpe Ekpo, and the State Chairman of the party, Mr. Stephen Ntukekpo, to cede the party to the People's Democratic Party, PDP, the Governor Umo Eno in the state. In an open letter tagged "The Worrisome State of the APC in Akwa Ibom State, a call for your urgent intervention," signed by Elder Okokon James, Honorable Peter Ibanga, and Chief Victor Afia, representing Uyo, Eket, and Ikot Ekpene senatorial districts of the state on Monday. The elders urged the president to intervene and ensure that the party is resuscitated in Akwa Ibom. The elders noted that they have been in the party from inception and had never seen the kind of selfishness, greed, betrayal, and tragedy currently going on in the party in Akwa Ibom. The letter in part states, "What the Senate's President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, is doing to the teeming and die-hard members of the All Progressives Congress in Akwa Ibom State is the height of betrayal of confidence and treachery against the party on whose platform he became the Senate's President. History and posterity will not be kind to him and all those he is using as instruments to kill the party." They noted that both the party chairman and the minister had in different fora said they were directed by the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, to cripple the party in the state to give the PDP an easy ride to victory in the 2027 polls in exchange for the People's Democratic Party's support for the Senate's president's third term ambition. They regretted that Senator Akpabio had failed to see clearly that Umo Eno would never defect to APC or be committed to President Tinubu's second term ambition. They added, "We want to assure Mr. President that he won't have party members to receive him when he comes to the state next year to campaign if something urgent is not done to revive and strengthen the party in the state." Wow, this is quite interesting. As the APC in Akwa Ibom State are urging the president to talk to Senator Godswill Akpabio, as regards to the PDP shift and all of that. So let me get your take on this one, Dr. Paul.
Well, I think such call is not new, let me put it that way, and it's also not surprising. I don't know, on the side of Akpabio, he has been facing some hits, within this particular, period.
Exactly.
And then from the National Assembly and now
to his hometown,
to his own hometown, yes, where this kind of a call is, coming. But I know he is a man. He has been into the political system and may find his way. But regarding the call itself, one will begin to wonder, why is that call coming now?
Okay.
Yes, we are about approaching electioneering year, and this kind of call is coming. Does it mean that there are no internal party mechanism within Akwa Ibom State in which the Senate President could have been invited for them to have this kind of a discussion than the call being made to the President, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is a member of APC? Or could it be that the Senate President is having issue with the leadership of the party, and they felt that the only way, calling him, stopping him, in what way? You are indicting him. You are saying that he's playing anti-party politics. That is what it means.
All
so
right.
You that is a party chairman, what have you done? That is it. Before you can say, oh, I have tried that, and then the president, should come into aid. You see, Akwa Ibom State, I believe that it should be known, okay? It should be known that if we are talking about parties have their stronghold.
All right.
That's just the truth. Parties have their stronghold. And in Akwa Ibom State, it is PDP. It is the PDP. So if the party chairman and his cabinets, cannot work on the ground and they are depending on the Senate President who is already engaged in the national assignment, and they believe that he has to come down, I think it is somehow what the Senate President needs is to throw his weight, a kind of a support, As for the grassroots mobilization, making the party relevant, is what the APC need to do. You understand? So they shouldn't look at it, because the man called His Excellency Eno has been doing well. So if he has been doing well and there is much popularity that is, he's gaining in the party, so they shouldn't throw it and then look at it that Akpabio is not doing anything. Or do they want him to be coercive, to be aggressive, to frustrate, where there is no even reason for him to begin to attack, because at times people see opposition party that you don't allow the reigning party to have their way. But if a reigning party within a state or even a country is doing well, why should there be throwing stone, trying to frustrate, fighting where it is not necessary? What we need is good governance. So if the incumbent government of PDP led by His Excellency is doing well, what I expect the APC to do is to put their house in order and then see what they can have to present to the people come 2027. Not begin the in-house fighting now, accusing Akpabio. Well, it's an intra-party problem. So if they feel that it is the president that can't, and then they didn't only indict the Senate president, they also indicted the minister. If I look at what was read, that minister, and so on. So what do they expect them to do? They should leave their national assignment, come to Akwa Ibom, or give them instructions on what to do in terms of making relevant. You see, at times, people should begin to understand the essence of politics. Nothing than provision of the common good of the people in the society.
All right.
So if you must, oppose, you should have something tangible. It shouldn't be based on a kind of a conspiracy, theory, trying to create some kinds of problem.
Okay, Dr. Paul, what if it happens to be in terms of personal interest? Because from what we're saying, probably the APC are alleging personal interest for the senator. Right, because looking at 2027, like you rightly mentioned, he is also trying to look for a way to secure his seat come 2027. Right. So, talking about personal interest, what would you also make of that? Well,
you cannot rule it out when it has to do with a political game.
All right.
Okay. But the question now is, how justifiable is this allegation? If perhaps they have not been working closely with the Senate president, or perhaps what they also need from the Senate president is not coming. It's two ways. Yes, the man will do his own permutation towards 2027, knowing fully that if he must return back, he has to win the election in his senatorial district. So, but the allegation is saying that it's of anti-party. That is the allegation now. It is of anti-party. And my question is that the party themselves, the party officials, the party chairman, what is he doing to make the party relevant? Okay, if accusation there is that because you will definitely hear from Akpabio, how justifiable is it? Is it that he has come and then he has been campaigning for the PDP? Is there a situation whereby, or should politics be seen as an acrimony that cannot be resolved after election? You still continue. I believe that once somebody has, been victorious in the election, you wait for the next electionary period and then plan how you are going to defeat the person, rather than throwing bomb, quarreling, here and there. Is that the essence? Is that the reason why we should have let them not forget that he's a Senate president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, not of APC.
All right. So on to you now, Honorable Barry Marafel. Do you also see this move by the APC as some form of a call to action for the president, because they are also making, in part of their statements, they say that there will be a time where the president will come and that he will not have people to welcome him. So do you see this situation happening with what the APC are saying?
That is impossible.
Right.
That will not be possible. When it comes to political system or political parties, there are what we call the internal crisis, party internal crisis. Party internal crisis means they are having division among themselves. Even the leaders, they have one or two person they have in mind, or they have at heart. So I think the leaders themselves should look at themselves if really they are doing the right thing. Because if they can't put their head together and say, okay, look at what we want at this point in time, look at who we are, look at this we want. If they can't have a target, it means there is division in the party. And it's better for them to settle themselves than them bringing it out to say Akpabio is doing this, Akpabio is doing that. if you point out Akwa Ibom today has a state in the South-South, Mr. the Senate President Akpabio are being the one projecting the name Akwa Ibom State from time. All the beauty we have today, the road network, the this, the that, the development in Akwa Ibom, you cannot point out those things without the name Akpabio. Look at the beautiful stadium he built. It was under his government as a governor of the state. So I think Mr. Akpabio, the Senate President, have been a very good man who have his people at heart. So if really they are talking based on their party issue whatsoever, it shouldn't be to understand they have to say if the president of Nigeria, President Tinubu, if it comes to Akwa Ibom that he will not see anybody to welcome, that's totally lie. I put it to them. What I'm trying to say here is that some of these issues comes out of personal interest. You know, when it comes to politics, politics is all about what you're going to gain at the end of the day. So if the party leader, or the party chairman of APC in Akwa Ibom State, if really they are not in good rapport, that's if they don't have that kind of mutual understanding with Akpabio, it doesn't mean the party will have no person to stand before the president of Nigeria.
Are you saying there have been inefficiencies in the part of the APC leaders?
Yeah.
Mind you, a lot goes on the ground when it comes to politics that we really cannot tell, right? A lot goes on the ground. And now, you know, you and I knows that the Senate president, 2027 is right the corner.
Yeah.
And now the Senate president has to secure majority from its own state. We have the Ekperikpe senatorial district, we have the Eket senatorial district, as well as Uyo senatorial district, which he has to, you know, garner support from all of this. So are you saying that the governor, the Senate president, former governor, beg your pardon, Senate president Godswill Akpabio, is in one way or the other doing what he's doing is right, you know, considering the fact that, okay, he has been the governor then, he made so many, impacts and all of that, that he still have the people in mind, people still have in mind of what you're saying.
Why I'm pointing out this is that the Senate President Akpabio have been the good citizen of Akwa Ibom, a patriotic citizen of Akwa Ibom State. So if really is sitting there as a senator representing his people, and he has been opportune to be the Senate President of Nigeria, that's to say the Akwa Ibom people will rally behind him.
Now,
why am I saying this? I'm saying this because he's not representing the APC political party. He's representing his people, his senatorial district, which means the APC, the SDP, the ABGAP, the PDP will come together because they are pointing out what they may gain as a citizen of Akwa Ibom State, since he serves as their representative in the National Assembly. So I'm pointing out that he may have the voters from those who will vote him from PDP, APC, SDP, and other political party. But I'm suspecting this to be a kind of party internal crisis, which them on their own can be able to resolve it if really they want to. But let me remind you, Akpabio has a Senate president. Know that automatically he's in power, and he is ahead of the party leadership in Akwa Ibom State in course of finance, in course of other things, because he came out of the APC.
All right.
I get him as a leader, so he's representing his people, and then at the point he have his own ambition, and his ambition with that of the party leadership of Akwa Ibom APC may not be the same. Okay. So that crisis or the division may come in among the leaders that are there. So it's for them to settle themselves and leave leave Nigerians, or the citizens of Nigeria. They should leave us.
All right. Well, over to you now, Dr. Paul. Just this last question before we move on to the next story. So what would you advise the APC leaders now, with all of this brouhaha playing out? What would you advise them?
Ordinarily, I wouldn't have liked to advise them on anything.
All right. So for the sake that you're an analyst,
yes, you know, it's politics.
Right.
They know their interests. They define their interests. They know how to go about it. So the only advice I will offer is that in the process of pursuing their political interests, they shouldn't drag the people of Akwa Ibom into it to the point where perhaps we begin to witness some kinds of political instability, somehow maybe conflict, somehow factions clashing here and there, and then making the constituents, you know, to become insecure. That is just it. Let them play their politics according to the rules, and not to drag the other party members, because at times you see that faction can breed conflicts.
Okay.
And once that conflict is not controlled, we may not only be talking about APC. Before you know it, they will tell you that even the governor himself is instigating what is happening or sponsoring what is happening in APC, so that when there is an internal crisis, we have his way. Let them play according to the rules, pursue their personal interests, and don't bring the other members of the party, I'm talking about the common essence, to the point where it can become or resort to political conflict.
All right.